You already know what time it is.
I want to thank y'all for having me here today. I'm saying I appreciate all the work you all put into the display in the back. Like Sister Tay said, I am a revolutionary community organizer. I deal with a lot of different social issues. And she invited me here today to speak about Black and Brown unity. I'm saying something that affects a lot of us. Originally, I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. And back there, back in the 70s when I left, it was very cut and dry. It was either black or white. And it wasn't until I moved to California that I actually met Mexicans. We didn't have issues. We didn't understand racism. On the playground, we played tetherball, kickball, soccer, basketball, everything together. It wasn't until I got to high school that the gang issues started to create the racial issues. You know, when I'm from Inglewood, it was the I-13, then we had the black gangs, the Blood, Banners, Gangsters, Inglewood Baptist, different things like that. And I was part of the first race riot in the 7th grade. And then on in high school, the race issue got even worse. But again, I realized that a lot of us individuals, we didn't necessarily have this problem. I had friends that were Inglewood 13s. I had friends that were involved with different gangs. I had friends who weren't involved in gangs at all. So once I got out of high school, I started to get an education that was not exposed to us within the school system. And I learned about the Olmecs. I learned about the common history we had together. I learned that the same pyramids you'll see in Africa, like in Egypt, you will find down in South America. I learned the history of blacks and Mexicans founding the city of Los Angeles together. I learned about the Pico brothers, who were part of the last Mexican governors of California prior to it being conquered. So I realized that together we can do a lot of powerful things. But again, through the same people that colonized us, enslaved us, that imposed themselves upon us, they have a policy of divide and conquer. Basically means you keep the people pitted against one another based on these different issues, keep us warm with each other, and we are better controlled. Now I'm saying the police can better control us when Black and Brown is out here in the streets fighting each other. One, they have a reason to arrest us. Two, we're killing each other off. And three, we hate each other so much that we cannot economically build our communities together. So this is in favor of those who seek to control us as a common people, because we all are oppressed. That's why some of us speak English, some of us speak Spanish. Those of us who speak English were conquered by the English. Those who speak Spanish were conquered by the Spanish. So once we start to understand these issues of racism, hatred, imperialism, then we better understand that it's not so much that I hate you as a black person and you hate me as a Mexican person. I'm saying these are ideals that have been indoctrinated into us. And like Sister Tay said, now those of us who start to understand this, it's our responsibility to then go out into the community and educate the youth. Educate the youth so they don't fall into these same traps. Because again, you look at the prisons, who's mostly there? Who's mostly in the prisons? Mexicans and blacks. Now I'm saying who are mostly poor folks? Mexicans and blacks. This isn't because, who does the most work? Say it again, somebody said us. Who said that? Say it again, say it loud. Us. So how is it the people who does the most work are the poorest people? How is it the people who does the most work are filling the prisons up? Again, this is a systematic policy that we have to understand. And we have to educate our people. We have to go out and we have to pull in people to this understanding. Because a lot of young folks, they're going to look at the videos, they're going to look at the people out in the streets, and they're going to become gangbangers. They're going to become dope slangers. They're going to become pimps, prostitutes, and everything else this society tells them to become to keep them conquered and controlled. Also, we have to get to those who are already involved in these activities. Those who are going out looking to push this campaign of racial hatred. Because again, it doesn't just affect them, but look at how many innocent people who fall victim to retaliation. Say somebody from the black community goes out and does something to someone in the brown community. The brown community then goes and retaliates, not necessarily against the people who actually committed that crime, but anybody that's black. Same thing, when someone in the black community is attacked, they don't just say, I'm going after that gang, they say, I'm going after Mexicans. But this is ignorance. This is ignorance we cannot personalize, we cannot become so sensitive to that we don't want to confront and attack it. Because once we confront and attack it, that's when it no longer has power. It only has power when we fear it, when we're afraid to stand up to it. That's how it grows, that's how it spreads. But like Sister Tay said, now all of you are being exposed to this information. Those of you who agree with this information now have a duty to go out and make it viral. Use your Facebook, use your YouTube, use your Twitters to communicate this to other people. Because right now, we're facing economic hardship. And economic hardship affects your household first and foremost. You know, whether you're getting cussed out by your parents or whether you can't find a job or your relationship, you want to buy your girlfriend a new purse or something, it affects your household first and foremost. Then when you get out to your community, I'm saying that's why a lot of people rob their own people because of economic hardship. And then it also leads to the frustration that fuels the gang violence. But again, once we understand what's going on, then we can pool our resources. Then we can build together. So again, this summer is going to be another long, hot summer. You're going to see a lot of this stuff that's going on, and God willing, it won't affect you. But if it does affect you, you have to understand what's going on. And you're going to have to make the effort to communicate to other people to not fall into this trap. Like Sister Tay said, our show comes on Saturdays from 2 to 3. You'll hear more information like this. My name is Godsun. You can find me on Facebook. You know, I share information similar to this on my Facebook right now. 2 weeks ago, Malcolm X's grandson was murdered. He was assassinated, and we are confident that it was done by a government agency. Back in March, he released this detailed statement saying how the federal FBI had been following him. He had been harassed by the police authorities. And the way the FBI operates is, if they want to attack someone, they're not going to make it to where we obviously know they did. When his grandfather, Malcolm X, was assassinated, a situation Malcolm X had with the Nation of Islam was exploited and manipulated to where it made it seem it was something the Nation of Islam did themselves in the assassination of Malcolm X. This time, they were even more tricky with it. They went down into Mexico City and had him assassinated. So right now, a lot of blacks are like, Mexicans. But again, we understand it's not a black and Mexican issue. It's the government that wants to pit us against one another and have us in a race war that will benefit them. Because again, all these prisons they're building instead of universities, that's another thing you gotta look at. If they really were about developing people, they wouldn't be building so many prisons, they would be building more universities. But as they build these prisons, they need to find ways to fill these prisons up. That's why the drugs come into our communities. We don't bring the dope in our backyards. They're bringing the dope here for us to distribute. But again, knowing all of this stuff, we have to make an effort to go out and prevent. To prevent ourselves from getting caught up in these traps. You know what I'm saying? So right now, you know, I'm taking this responsibility. Stand up and be the leaders that you are. Stand up and be the great people that you are. We are confident you can do it. That's why I'm here today. Otherwise, I wouldn't be wasting my breath. And again, I thank y'all for having me here. My name is Bill. Revolution.